Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are actually going to be on a hunt to find my 5-star read because I still haven't found one. Like literally, we are months into the year and I literally have not found my 5-star read. Am I salty? Yes. Am I gonna do something about it? Yes. So the first book that we're gonna be reading is Wild Love by Elsie Silver. This book is so cute. Look at the cover. I love this kind of shade of pink. This is my favorite color, pink. And Elsie Silver, correct me if I'm wrong, said that this entire new series revolves around single dads. That's gonna be very fun because I personally like that trope. Sorry, but I actually really enjoyed that one. And also the pregnancy trope, I also enjoy. I don't know why, but I thought that I wasn't going to because literally everyone hates that trope. Let me know if you guys do too, because I just know so many people that don't like that trope, but I personally like it a lot. So this book is basically about Ford. He is a billionaire, of course, and he moves back to his hometown because he wants to basically have a new fresh life. He has worked around the spotlight and all those things. He's really famous. He is a music producer, and so when he goes back home, he actually opens up his own music studio and production. And so when he goes back home, his childhood best friend's sister also goes back home because something happens, and so she also goes back home and they kind of rekindle this kind of like teenage crush thing that one of them had with the other one. And so you go through all of that, and like I said, it is a single dad trope, and so that also goes into play with that. And so you go through all of that, and I'm guessing that Ford was the one that had the crush on Rosie since they were little. And the other trope that I really love is best friend's brother, whatever, you know what I mean? And this one is one of those. I think that my favorite one of that trope is Done and Dusted. That one was so good. I don't know, like especially when the brother finds out. That one, you guys, if you guys have not read that one, when the brother finds out, read it. That's all I'm gonna say, read it. So juicy, so much tea. I'm so excited because of that trope alone. But without further ado, let's start reading Wild Love by Elsie Silver. It's the next day. I think I got like 30%. I have it in my bedroom and I am too lazy to go get it, but that's okay because while I'm reading that, I also want to start reading another book because at the moment I've been feeling really burnt out with romance books. So I think I'm going to switch it up and read something different that I've never read before. I've just been reading so much romance for the last couple of weeks that I just feel like it's just been very repetitive. So we're actually going to also start reading another book while I finish Wild Love. So the book that we're going to be starting as well is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I really want to read this one because I think this is like more like a historical fiction. I don't know, but I've been seeing this around a lot and I've just been craving something different, and I've never really read a book like this one, so I think this is the perfect book to start. But don't worry, I will be giving you guys updates on Wild Love and also be reading that while I read this one. I just need a little bit of a break. So without further ado, let's start reading this book.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes.
It's the next day and we finally finished reading Wild Love by Elsie Silver, and this book was so good. It was so cute. It was definitely what I needed because it delivered with so many different things, has so many different tropes, and the kid in this one, because it is a single dad, the kid was just so cute. Honestly, she was such a little cutie. I loved every little scene that we got. I wish we would have gotten a little bit more and just gotten a little bit more of that relationship with Ford, but that's okay. The things that Ford says to Rosie, you're just kind of like, what? That's so cute. Like, there was just so many moments where I was just like giggling and kicking my feet, and there were so many funny moments. I love Elsie Silver and her writing. She's just so good at writing book boyfriends. Honestly, she's so good at it. But sadly, this was not a 5-star for me. It's definitely like a 4-star. I think it's a really good solid 4-star, just because I've read so many different books that this just didn't really feel different. I didn't really feel any different. It just felt like I was reading another romance book. But I do highly recommend. I do think that everyone is going to love this series. I know I will. You do get a little sneak peek of the next book, and that one is basically following Rosie's brother, which I was hoping, I was crossing my fingers it was going to be West, because the little moments that we would get from West, because he's kind of like a troublemaker, I just knew that I wanted to know more about his past, because him and Ford are basically best friends, and he was a troublemaker and Ford was always the one that got him out of trouble. I just hope that we get more of that, because it just sounds so fun, and kind of seeing their dynamic and him having 2 kids, and it seems like one of his kids probably has a disability, and I'm just super excited to read that one. So I'm hoping that we get it very, very soon. Moving on to our second book, we already started reading this one, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This one is basically about Addie. I don't know how much I can say without giving a little bit of spoilers. So with Addie LaRue, she basically makes a deal because something happens in her life back in 1714, and she's just really desperate to get out of the situation, and she does not think before she says her wish. And so she can't die, and people also can't remember her. And there's this like famous quote that you're not supposed to pray at night, and so she did that and something happened. Like, you're just basically living through Addie LaRue, just going through life because she made a terrible decision out of desperation, because she really needed to get out of that situation very, very quickly. My heart goes to Addie. I just feel so bad for all these things that she has to go through, because no one knows who she is, and also she has no money and like literally no home. And so you're going through the timelines between 1714 and also present timeline, which is 2014, and so you're basically going through all the things that she has gone through between that timelines. And so now we're at a part where one person actually remembers her, so we're gonna see what happens with that. So now that we finished Wild Love, I'm hoping, I think that this has a possibility of being a 5-star for me, so I'm really, really hoping that's the case. So we're about 40% through this book, and I'm gonna give it a little pause just because I do want to finish Betting on You. I started this a couple of weeks ago when we went on a road trip, because I started listening to it as an audiobook while I was driving on a road trip, while it was my turn to drive, and I was listening to it on Spotify, and I ran out of time or hours or whatever, and so I didn't know exactly where I stopped, because in some audiobooks it doesn't actually tell you the chapters, it just shows you the track. and obviously like sometimes it's not really the same, so the track doesn't actually mean the chapter. So I had to wait until I was out of Spotify jail to figure out where I was. So now that I am out, I am going to finish this book, mostly because I just been eyeing it and I really just want to finish this. And I know it's not going to be a 5-star read for me because I really don't like it as much. I don't really like them both as a couple. The main guy is kind of annoying. They just don't really seem like the perfect fit for me. I don't know, some of the things that he says and some of the things they do together is very childish, and I do not condone some of the things that he's telling her to do. So our main character Bailey, she's going through a time where her parents are divorcing and her parents are also, you know, like finding new people and whatever. And so she meets this guy a couple of years ago on the airplane. It was actually really cute, but now that they're in high school, he's gone through some things and his parents were also divorced. His view on divorce and parents in general going into new relationships is pretty, I guess, negative on him. And what I don't like is because they both have a really negative thing with parents getting in new relationships, they are basically trying to break up Bailey's mom and her new boyfriend, which clearly makes her happy, but she's just kind of like pouting and just, she doesn't like the guy. Don't know why. He's not a bad guy at all. She's just pouting and throwing hissy fits because she does not like the guy, and it's mostly because Charlie is putting these ideas in her head and I'm just not really liking them together. I don't like Charlie at all. Oh my god, he was annoying me so much. There are cute parts. Honestly, I'm probably leaning towards a 3-star. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards a 3-star for sure. But I'm gonna finish this real quick and just see how it ends, because right now we're at a point where they are trying to break them up. But yeah, let's finish this book.
One eternity later.
I moved. Honestly, it's been about over a month since I finished that video and a lot has happened. May especially has been such a busy month, and so I just never had the time to close this video out, but we ended up finding our first 5-star read, actually our second one, because anytime that I'm doing a reading vlog, I'm always reading a book on the side just to read, and I was reading one of the books and that quickly became that, and so I found a 5-star read back to back, and I'm just so excited to share that with you guys. That is the reason why I have just not posted at all for over a month. It's because of that, because we've been trying to get this all set up and it's just been such a hectic move. I've never had so many issues, especially with deliveries, and so yeah, it was just a lot of a long waiting game where we were just waiting for things to come and then people will bail out. Anyways, I am so happy though, because we are finally settled in, and you know, be excited for more reading vlogs. I'm so excited that this is going to be my background for them. And yeah, so without further ado, let's actually talk about the books that I read in this video. So the first book that we read was Wild Love by Elsie Silver. This one was a new release and I was so excited because I love the whole Chestnut Spring series. It's one of my all-time favorite series of all time, and I was so excited for this new one because this is basically a new series. She already finished the Chestnuts and this is her next one. Reading the synopsis and her saying that this series is going to be about single dads just made me so excited to just read this, but I was actually kind of underwhelmed with the whole trope about that because we didn't really get much of it. And when we did, I liked it, but I just wish that there was a little bit more to it. I don't know, this one just felt a little flat for me because I just didn't really find anything great about it. I've read tropes like this, I've read storylines like this that it just didn't really stand out to me, and so for that I just gave it a 3 stars. Obviously I love Elsie Silver and I know that I'm gonna love her other books. It's just with this one I just wish we would have gotten a little bit more of that relationship. I just don't really feel like it went anywhere. It was just there. I just hope that for the next ones we get a little bit more of that, because this one was mostly revolved around his relationship with Rose, which I loved. It's just, I've already read stuff like that, so there was really nothing different for me that I was just kind of giddy and kicking my feet. It just felt like another romance book. So I really wish we would have gotten a little bit more of that whole single dad trope. And then the next book that we read was Better Than the Movies. This one I started back in March, I believe, and then I went on Spotify jail, and so I had to wait until I was out of that to basically figure out where I was. And so when I did, I just wanted to get it over with. It was not my favorite Lynn Painter book because both of these characters I just didn't really like. They were just too childish for me, especially the guy. Like the main thing that I love about Lynn Painter is she writes great guys in her stories, and this one was honestly really annoying. And so for that, I just didn't like. He would put things in her head and will make her do things that I just feel like she shouldn't have, and she wouldn't have had that kind of influence on her. There was like really cute moments. Like I really love Lynn Painter and how she delivers on like these cutesy little scenes, and there were so many of those. It's just both of those characters, because of the things that they would say and the things that they would do, I was just kind of turned off by them. And by the end of it, I was just really happy that I just finished it. And even the ending just felt very rushed and kind of like, that's the end, and that's it, you know what I mean? So it's like I just felt like it was really flat, and like there was nothing too much. It was just like a straight line, and then bloop, it ended. So for that, it was another 3 stars. Honestly, it's probably like a 2.8. I'm not gonna give it like a full 2 stars because I still enjoyed my time, and usually with 2 stars I just basically I'm like at the brink of DNFing. But this one, like I said, had great moments and all, so that's why I'm giving it a 2.8. The next book that we read, which was our 5-star read, was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. You guys, this one, I want every edition of it. Like, I'm not even kidding. Even to this day, it's been over a month since I finished this book, and I still think about Addie LaRue. Not even joking. And her relationship with the devil. I don't know, like the end honestly felt like we're gonna get another book. I don't know if I'm kind of delusional for that and hoping for that, but I don't know. I feel like she did this to put in a second book to this. I don't know. You guys let me know if you guys have finished this, because the ending, if she didn't, she kind of did me dirty, because now I'm really excited. I'm hoping that's the case, because the ending was just so good. And it's just one of those endings where it's like winky face, you know what I mean? She did such an amazing job with the whole past and present timeline, and just making me feel so connected to Addie. And by the end, I just wanted to give her a hug. Throughout the entire book, I wanted to give her a hug. It's honestly one of my prized possessions, and it's one of the books that I'm proud that I read, and I can tell you guys that I read this book. And like, even looking at this, like the letters are really small, and like, you know, like I just feel like a really smart girl reading this book because of that. I mean, it's been 5 months. It's been 5 months, and I think that it was the perfect time for me to pick up this book. I would not want to have picked this book any other time but in May. Like, honestly, this book came at the right time. I picked it up at the right time, and I read it at the right time because I loved every second of it. And like I said, I was reading another book while I was reading those books in a reading vlog, and I found my next 5-star read. Heart of Your World by Abby Jimenez. This is the first book in her series. There's like 3 of them now. And I love this book so much. Oh my god. From the beginning, this book gave me everything I wanted. This is my first Abby Jimenez book, and I've just watched so many people talk highly about her books, about how great they are, how the storylines really get you going, and how easy the book is. And I didn't realize that those were all true when I was literally reading. I just started it, right? And by the time that I looked at my clock, I was already like over 100 pages in. Like, it did not feel like that. Like, I promise you guys, if you guys have not read this book and people say the same things to you guys, that these books are worth it, take it from me, they are 100% worth it. I did not believe anyone when they were saying that these books are so easy to get through and how enjoyable they are. Like, I just thought that there was just another, you know, like trend to read, but highly recommend. I did read her other book a couple days ago, and that one is also a 5-star. Honestly, it's a 6 stars. Yours truly was like 6 stars, no doubt. This one, when I read it, was a 5-star. I still stand by it. It's so good. If you guys take anything from this, is to to read this book if you guys haven't already. These are all the books that we read. As you guys can see, we are in a new background. We are gonna have so much fun with these reading vlogs because I love this background so much. But yeah, stay tuned for other reading vlogs. I hope you guys liked today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, night, whatever time you guys are watching this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.